If you've had problems editing perfect photos every time, this Adobe Photoshop plugin is the plugin for you. And I'm going to show you, if you look on the screen here, all I did was open Photoshop and open 4 photos to show you how to 1, save time, and 2, make perfect edits every time. Also, just so you guys know, my link in the description, I am an affiliate for Retouch4me because it is just amazing. Everything that it's doing in every single one of these layers, you can literally turn them on, turn them off, and just see all the moves that the AI engine is doing with the Photoshop brushes. This is crazy. So if you want to save 20% on top, if you want to take 20% off your purchase, you can use my link in the description. I am an affiliate, meaning that if you do make a purchase, I do earn a small commission as a result to keep the channel going. But besides that, let's get into it with this Adobe Photoshop plugin. So first of all, here's the projects we're going to work on. So if you are busy or photography is just part of your business and you need to streamline some of your editing workflows, or you just want perfect photos every time, maybe the thought of Photoshop is complicating to you. Maybe the thought of learning Photoshop is hard. However, I make it simple, but this AI-powered plugin by Retouch4me is just simply a game changer. Now, Retouch4me, this will help your edits just completely just rock it out, okay? So that's the plugin I'm going to be using. So here is my very first project here up on the screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to already download the plugin. And I know they give you like a free trial or whatever, but that's not the point. You're going to see all these filters. Every single one does something different. For example, the healing is going to use the brushes over here that are like the healing brush tools. The mattifier is going to take down shine on the composition. Dodge and burn are simply the lightening and darkening of the shadows, midtones, and highlights. And it continues on. And I'll even go through to show you how to select these right now, and then how to look at them to see what the AI-powered Retouch4me engine has done for your photograph. Now, I think we need everything in this photo except eye vessels. I've just basically went through and select the ones I want. And now I'm going to hit retouch, and it is going to just go through, calculate your photograph, and add and subtract things. You're going to see, and then I'm going to go through and show you before and after, and every individual layer as far as what the AI engine has done, all the moves it has made. It is literally, if I wanted to, let's say, now I went out and I did this for a beauty pageant, and long story short, I would, let's say, batch edit. Let's say if I had 300 photos to batch edit, that would be in Lightroom. That would be just simple copy, paste, edit settings, applying to other photos that are shot in the same perspective or lighting, right? And sometimes I get a nice run of 20, 30 at a clip. But then I would bring up my standout ones. I would maybe do 25 edits individually in Photoshop. Now, this is saving me so much time and money. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is just insane. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just group these all real quick and then turn it on and off just to show you the before and after. Okay, so this is before Retouch4me and this is after. Game changer, right? I know what you're thinking. Now, the next thing you might want to understand is how much it went in, and it didn't change the shape of the face or any structural editing like that, but look, it has cleared the face, it has made this perfect, and the only thing that I might want to do is maybe come back in here, and if I decided that eye brilliance was too much, I could turn it off, I could turn it back on, I could open the slider and turn it down even to turn down the brightness of her eyes, right? Then I could just decide maybe I want to run it through a couple different looks of filters. Maybe I want a black and white. Maybe I want a different filter. And then I would export like 3 photos out of this. Or go through with any brushes and retune anything. But this is amazing. Look at that. Just perfect. And I'm going to go through now and just show you what every single thing did on here. I'm going to turn off the bottom layer, and I am going to turn all these off, and we're going to look at what Retouch4me did with every single composition. Portrait volumes, look at that. Skin tones, dodge and burn, look at all those moves. Look at how much this tool is working for you. Mattifier, white teeth. This is just going to be masked out on a different layer. Let's see, eye brilliance, heal. Look at all those moves it saved you with heal. And clean backdrop. What? What? These are awesome. All right, now I'm just simply going to turn them all back on. And as you can see, it's adding 2. Now we're going to go to our next photograph. And amazing photo, completely beautiful. But we're going to use the same settings. If the fabric setting is to set wrinkles apart, to basically iron them out in Photoshop. Now, I basically use the same settings because we don't need the eye vessels in this one and or fabric. So we're going to apply it again. And we're just going to see what the engine does. This is just awesome. And I've been like really loving these results. So I thought it necessary to make this video to help you decide, do you want to use this? Do you want to speed up? Do you obviously don't want to, maybe if you feel like you still want to get the manual touch of Photoshop, use that for the compositions that you want to do personally, that is your own style, or make this part of your own style and add your flair to it, right? But either way, however you decide to edit, editing is like art. Wow, it's subjective. Look at that. I'm literally just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to right click, group these, new group layers. I'm going to hit OK. Here's before. Here's after. The only thing on this one, I might go in and catch all these fly hairs around the edge. And maybe this one across her face right here. But if I zoom in to actually look at her skin to see if one of the main problems is some of these brushes take away skin texture. And this clearly is not damaging the skin texture. And it is still keeping it natural to the subject. That's what I really love. And it really helps to have a great composition, great lighting to start with. But look at that. Completely awesome. And once again, if I wanted to go through and take off every setting and see how hard this is working for me, I could go through and just look at everything that it's doing here. Look at all those moves. Like, this AI-powered plugin is just so nice. I'm not over it. We got 2 more to do real quick. I just wanted to give different compositions to really showcase this and show the power of this. Now, this one, let's throw you guys for a little bit of a curve here. This is a manual edit that I already did, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and just apply the same settings to my already edited photo. Now, all the other 3 photos in here were unedited. Okay, so this is a photo that I already edited in Photoshop, and now I'm bringing it back in to just put the Retouch4me plugin to the test. And if you guys find this really helpful, you can also, like I said before, apply different filters to have a couple different looks to your photographs, and then export. So out of this, I could do like a black and white, a couple different color filters, a couple creative edgy looks, so your clients can really find the one they love. Okay, wow. It just really did an amazing job. Look at that. I could have maybe used the eye vessels in here, but that's not really, it's not really noticeable. Look at that. Now, if I go through and I turn all these off, let me group these. That's so impressive. And it's even when you think you catch everything, as an editor, look at how much that this can still see beyond the human eye, and just use the power of AI. And it doesn't, I just wanted to put my own work on the chopping block here, and look at that. Look at that. Now the next one we have a senior photo, okay? Now let's see, heal, mattifier, skin tone, eye vessels, eye brilliance. We're just gonna go ahead and see how it does it and see if it understands that this is editing on a man here. And I just think when it comes to editing male portraits, that to not soften the skin too much, to keep some of that rough grit texture in there. So on this one, I'm trying to see if I foresee having to go back into the Retouch4me, opening that skin tone slider, maybe turning it down a little bit because it might make his skin look a little too soft. What I do hope, though, is all the acne, that it doesn't damage the skin texture and it fixes all the acne. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so a couple things here. This did a phenomenal job, actually, but I'm going to turn some of the softness down so we can maintain some more texture. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to turn this blend down to 7, and I'm just going to go reapply that. Now, when you're running the plugin, it's best not to really do anything within Photoshop. You can potentially crash it just like any other plugin. You might have to open it back up to a recovered. Okay, so skin tone, let's turn that all the way back down and reapply. And I might turn like the eye brilliance down a little bit because it's maybe too chicky for me on this photo. Other people might look at it and be like, it's great. There we go. Or I could turn the skin tone off and reapply. I hope it doesn't add the acne back, right? And I don't think it will. Okay, there we go. All right, now it's off. I could also just turn the layer off over there in the panel. Eye brilliance. Okay. We are going to go with less than half, and we're going to reapply. But as you can see, over there on the right side, guys, it's adding a new layer every time. Just double check that if you're going to rerun the plugin, because I actually, by turning some of these off, I might have what I'm already looking for, because now it's got 2 eye brilliance on there. So I'm going to turn the other one off. See that? So it did turn it down. But if I turn that back down, that's okay. Now if I go through these skin tones, the last skin tone would be the one I did. Turn that off. Off. Okay. Yeah, because I wanted skin tones off. Let's see if I turn the heel back on. All the acne right back, guys. Look at that. It really did. Look at all those little moves that did. That probably 5-10 minutes right there of just removing the acne, then blending the skin back. Clean backdrop. Look at that. As you can see, it did get rid of some of that grit, which is really nice. Portrait volumes. I might turn the portrait volumes off, or I might turn the mattifier off. No, it's just on his nose, really. But yeah, this is great. I might even just turn the eyes back down. And then if I wanted to, I would go through and maybe just, for this one, I always like to make sure that my subjects and everything is leveled. I'm not going to go through and do what I would, my normal tune-ups, but what I do like to always make sure is make sure that my geometry is always balanced and looking great. And that's up here in Camera Raw filter. I like to check the auto against the leveled. I'm with it. That looks great. Okay, there's the problem. I didn't have it all on one layer, so let me go back here. So when you do that, let me remind you guys that you should group your layers here and make it like one group, or you can merge them. So if we merge them, then it would be harder to go back and apply this stuff, and you're losing control here. But this is after you've already set everything with Retouch, just so you guys know if you do it this way. And then I would go back, and then, as you can see now, all the movements are together. And I would just double check that against this. I'm actually liking that one better. And guys, this has been a really amazing retouch for me and how to make just awesome portrait photography in a few clicks. Guys, I got some just amazing work done here. That's awesome. All right, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.